All right, so this is my review for Melania. All right, so one thing I want to say is I was never really gonna watch this movie. I saw this movie in the theaters, and actually, when I looked at the show times back in like maybe a few months ago, it was actually a good turnout. There was people showing up, but I was just like, I'm not really interested in it, and I just like to do stuff more like when I'm just interested in it. And I was like, all right. So, but I'm honest. If I don't think I'm gonna like a movie, and then I see and I like it, I'll keep it real. So that's all what I'll say. This is what I will say. So I watched Oscars with Shorty. Everything was good. And she's like, I want to watch Melania. I'm like, why? And here's one thing I didn't know about Melania is she was a model and she's also a fashion designer. So there's a lot of other elements, why people might want to go see the movie. A lot of fashion design, a lot of different things like that. So there's a lot of angles on why people might see the movie. It doesn't just have to be political. So that's one thing I didn't know. So we start the film, and this is what I'm going to say. Normally, every time we watch a movie, within the first 10 minutes, someone's snoring. I'll just say it's not me. And then we both fall asleep. We don't really finish the movie. And we just finished watching the Oscars, and this movie is not long. It's like maybe an hour and 30 minutes. Within the first 5 minutes, you could see the production value. You could see that people made this movie, and they wanted to, I feel like they kind of want to make a statement like this is the first lady. Like, this is going to be like, it's the creme de la creme. Like, this is on point. Like, this, it's not like, this is not no one's first day in the office. As far as, anyone who works on this film, everyone was above board. These people know exactly what they're doing. One thing I didn't know is the director of this film is Brett Ratner. He actually directed the Rush Hour movies with Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, and I love those movies. So you might see some reviews coming for those. Kind of seen them in a while. I love those films. And he directed those movies as well as a lot of other films. And one of the reasons I didn't go see it in the theater as well is because I thought it was more like a documentary. I thought it was more of a documentary where, they use like a lot of real footage and they mix it up. And I don't have a problem with documentaries, but I was like, I'm not going to go to movies to see a documentary. I'm good. I don't really need to see that on Melania. But this movie is called Melania, and it is a movie. I don't know why I thought it was a documentary. In my mind, for some reason, I just kept thinking it was a documentary. I thought there's no way that the first lady is going to make a movie about herself. I thought it's a documentary about her lifestyle stuff, but it kind of is a documentary the way it's told. And it's basically a week in the life. It's basically from the time Trump finds out he's going to be the president, and also when them actually getting into the office, and actually going back to live in the office. That's basically where it ends. It's like basically a week in her life. And you get to see a lot of the fashion. You get to see a lot of her philanthropy. As far as, this is what I'll say. You get to hear a lot about her philanthropy. She talks about a lot how she cares about orphans, and she does a lot for the kids. Kids are very important to her, which is cool. And if I did have to say anything about this film, like as far as maybe any gripes or anything I thought that the film could have did better, is she talks a lot about her philanthropy in the film, but you don't really get to see any of it. You get to hear her talk. I mean, you get to see her meet with the, I believe, the Queen of France, and they sit down and talk about scholarships for kids and different things like that she's doing. But as far as seeing actual footage of her, at some of these schools and some of these orphanages, I think that would have been interesting, especially if you're doing a film. And I think of the bulk of this film, she really talks a lot about her philanthropy. So I think I would have liked to see her be at these orphanages. And but like I said, this film takes place within a week of Trump finding out he wins, and also them moving back into the White House. So I think that for the film, they shot everything. Like the director, they shot everything on this movie is shot for this movie. Nothing that you see in this movie is like outside of the idea of this movie and outside of the look of it. Everything looks magnifical. It looks perfect. And from the shots to the music choices, I didn't even get into music choices, we can't get into that. From the shots to the music choices, you could tell that this is made by someone who knows how to make movies. And it's entertaining, it's stylish, and it actually is, it's entertaining. It's a good movie, is what I'll say. It's a good movie. I didn't think I was gonna like it. We watched the whole entire film. Normally I fall asleep or something, but it captures you from the beginning, and I think the choice of music does have a lot to do with that, because she talks about later in the film how she's a very huge fan of Michael Jackson. And in the first 5 minutes, they're playing Michael Jackson's, playing a song by Michael Jackson, and she's wearing these black shades, and she's going in the elevator, and she's making this look, and it's just like, you could tell she had fun making this film. So it's like fun, but also she wants to show people like her behind the scenes, the fashion. You get to see the, if anyone's interested in the fashion, and you see like people like, basically building an outfit on a person. You know, you see the people with the pens on their hands, on their wrists, ready to go to basically make the dress for the inauguration and different things like that. And yeah, it was cool to see all the behind the scenes, but like I said, I didn't expect to like it. And it's not that I wanted to hate it, it's just I didn't expect like there's so many times where people make movies and they have money, they have a big budget, and you go to see these movies and you're like, oh, this wasn't as good as I thought it was gonna be. Obviously, the president, they have the money, but it doesn't mean that's gonna look beautiful like this. Like when I say beautiful, I mean like if you just press play for 5 minutes, you can understand that the director had a vision for this. They said we're gonna shoot this like almost like a almost like an action epic or like a spy thriller. Like it's shot the way they do certain shots, it's perfect. The camera, everything, like it's like if they won an award for this, I wouldn't even be mad because the film it's beautiful. Every shot, everything is perfect. And then obviously whoever does their hair, they do a great job is one thing I'll say as well. She's always looking the hair is always on, has a lot of volume. But I don't know who's gonna care about this video. I just want to put my little thoughts on it because I didn't expect to like it. But like I said, if I see a movie and it takes me by surprise, you know, I'm gonna let people know. I would say if I had to give this out of 5 stars, if someone asked me, I'll give this a 4 out of 5, just because I did enjoy it, but it's not a 5 for me because I said like this one small aspect of they're talking a lot about philanthropy, which is awesome. And even at the end, they give us a lot of bullet points on stuff that she's done, which are good. But they could have at least gave me, with the bullet points, maybe some photos of her at an orphanage. And those could have been high def. They could have been nice, high quality photos that you could have showed at the end of the film so we could see her at these orphanages and giving out these scholarships, just to kind of bring a full round effect to the film. Because like I said, she talks a lot about it, but you don't really get to see and that effect too much. And I think that would have definitely helped the film be more well-rounded. But ultimately, the film has style. And it's interesting because at the end of the film, she says, I'm going to continue to help children. I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing as a first lady. And I'm also going to do it in style. And that's one thing I really liked when she said that at the end, because she was a model. So she has to have style, but it doesn't mean that just because she's in the office, she has to be like kind of like stuck up, or she has to be, you know, like someone you're scared of. You know what I like? And Trump is in this too. He's not in a lot, but he's in small pieces of it, of course. But what I really like about it is, obviously, she seems like a super soft personality. And then Trump, of course, he's more of a hard, stern personality. He kind of has to be the president. But I like that yin and yang, that balance. That kind of makes me happy to see that she's so soft. So maybe that's why. Maybe that's good. I think that's good to have her and as the first lady. That did make me happy to see that she's so soft, because I think, like I said, there needs to be balance. Without a balance, you know, things can go pretty haywire. But I mean, check it out if you want. Probably no one to check it out, but I'm sure there'll be some people who like fashion and stuff like that and want to see what's popping. And if you like fashion, you get to see it. If you want to see inside the Trump Tower, all the gold and all the glamour of it, it's there. One thing I will say about this film is, I did think when I watched this that the Kardashians need to watch this film. If they haven't, they should just look at the director and say, make me a Kardashians movie. Because if they get this director to make a Kardashians movie, I promise you, it'll probably make at least 500 million, maybe 400 million, maybe at least 300 million. Because there's so many girls and different people out there who like fashion and different things like that. If it's done in this way and directed in this way, and the good word of mouth is good, it could do good. Like, people watch Keep Up with the Kardashians. They should make a Kardashians movie, I think, and with this director, because, like I said, I didn't expect to like it, but that's my honest opinion. There you go. But yeah, it's Dejo, Notre Dame, spread love and light. And like I said, I'm excited for Mortal Kombat 2, so we're gonna sign up for Get Over Here. Peace out.
Get over here.